stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame.
Hi, I'm Kachang Kevin. Today, in our final Lenten reflection, I'd like to highlight a few points in an article by Ken Hensley on callingallconverts.com. It is titled, "What Does Easter Mean in Deadly Practical Terms?" Mr. Hensley says, when we look at the teaching of the New Testament, the resurrection isn't only about the forgiveness of sins or evidence that Jesus was who he claimed to be and who the earliest believers claimed him to be. In the New Testament, the resurrection is about power to become holy. To explain this further, we will focus on 3 Bible passages. Deuteronomy 36, which says, "The Lord will circumcise our hearts." Jeremiah 31:33, which says, "The Lord will write His law on our hearts." And Ezekiel 36:25-28, which says that the Lord will cleanse us so that we can live in the promised land. As Catholics, we should already notice that these passages point to baptism. On Holy Saturday, the faithful renew their baptism vows, while those coming into the church will have the sacrament of baptism. Mr. Hensley goes on to say, with reference to St. Peter's first epistle, chapter 3, verses 21-22, that through the power of the resurrection, we are born again in our baptism. And in Romans 6, St. Paul says that in our baptism, we were united with Christ in his death and in his resurrection, in order that we might walk in newness of life. Mr. Hensley has provided us with something to think of this Easter, that as we exclaim, "He is risen, Alleluia," we should think of the resurrection as power to become holy, that we have received through our baptism. Again, I urge you to read Ken Hensley's article on the website callingallconverts.com titled, "What Does Easter Mean in Deadly Practical Terms?" I hope our Lenten reflections this year have helped you in your spiritual journey. You can watch them again on our YouTube channel, Redeemed for Worship. Have a blessed Easter.
I will sing to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown.
Created using Powtoon.